Yo, what's up everybody? It's Daikin here, ready to bring you some more Genshin Impact content, and today we are doing an artifact guide for you all. Finally ready to talk about artifacts. I get a lot of questions about how to build your characters with artifacts, what you should be looking for, and all of that. So let's go ahead and get started talking about my first tip when it comes to artifacts. So right off the bat, as soon as you start a game, you're not really going to have that many artifacts. You're going to be getting a couple of 3 sets inside of chests, and it really don't matter which ones you really get at that time. You're going to be getting this Traveler Doctor set right here. So this one is going to be giving you the increase incoming healing by 20%, and using Elemental Burst restores 20% HP. Then you're going to be getting this Lucky Dog set right here, which is going to give you that defense increase and picking up more restores HP. This all just like regeneration stuff. And this one also giving you that max HP increased by 1,000, and opening chest regenerates 30%. Usually, just because you're going to be opening up a lot of chests at the beginning of the game, I sort of just use this one, this Adventurer set, just because. But it really doesn't matter which one you use. The main thing that's going to matter, and I think this is where we need to start talking about stats right off the bat. When it comes to your stats, the main stat that you're going to want to build at the very beginning for like basically all your pieces is attack. Attack is probably the most important stat when it comes to building stuff. Attack is in almost everything that you use. You know, you have all these other different things. You have crit rate, you have physical bonus damage, all these other bonus damages and stuff like that. All of them, including elemental mastery, or like when you do your elemental skills, they all scale on attack, and then the second stats after that. So having just the base high attack is most important when it comes to building a character, so you have to keep that in mind. So just for example, if I was going to build my Kaya here, I'll pretty much be looking for attack percentages, obviously, and then trying to get some good substats. Now, substats you're going to be looking for are just depending on what character you're trying to play, what you're trying to build, but at the moment it really doesn't matter. The main thing you're really going to be focused on is the attack percentage. So I'm just going to, like, you know, put some on this. It got like a crit rate, crit damage, that's good, and its attack percent, so let's put that on there. We're looking for a cup next. Don't think I have a good cup for him. Let's see if we have something here. So pyro bonus damage, no. Cryo bonus damage. So we're going to talk about that later, but at the very beginning of the game, you're just really going to be wanting to get attack. Attack is the only thing that's really going to matter. Once we start getting into very specifics, we're going to start changing our build up a little bit more. So once again, just bringing more attack into here, just getting more attack percentages, so getting something like that. Okay, so I guess that's good enough for that one. Then this has attack on attack. This is going to always be flat attack when it comes to your feather. Remember that feather is always going to be flat attack, and your flower is always going to be a flat HP for you. So we're just going to pick one of these. I don't think I have a 3-star one here. Oh, I do. Got a couple. All right, we're going to get HP, and then I can take the crit rate or attack. I'm just going to take the crit rate just because it's a percentage. You can take the attack as well, so it don't really matter. And then, man, we have our Kyre set up. See, we have the plus 51 attack here, and we're good to go. Obviously, you can start leveling these up a little bit. And then, yeah, you're just going to have that raw high attack percentage, which is going to give you that extra boost. Now, what's the next step? That's what you may be asking. What should I do once I get all this stuff, and once I start getting some actual gear, some actual artifacts that I can use, some other sets within the game? This is where things start to get a little bit more interesting, and that's what we're about to talk about next. So around this next step, you're going to have a few more sets at your disposal. You're going to start having some Berserkers, some Exiles, some Tiny Miracles, some Instructors. They're going to start giving you some of these resolutions through the AR rewards, and you may start getting some of these martial artists through your book rewards as well. All these other sets, you're really not going to be getting much of. These are like way later sets, so we're going to be talking about this mid-game sets that you're going to be looking at. So at this point, this is where you can start creating the identity of your character. How do you want to play your character? So just going based off Kaya once again, a lot of people like to use Kaya simply for his skills. So you're going to be looking at his elemental skill and his elemental burst. So with that, you still want to build attack. Remember, attack is your main frame, but then we can start thinking about the other stats a little bit more here. So what I mean by that is, of course, so we're going to be doing, you could do instructor set on him because it's going to increase his elemental mastery right here. So this is going to allow him to do more elemental damage when it comes to his reaction base, because a lot of people like using for his reactions. Or you can build him with his elemental burst in mind, so you can get more energy recharge. But once again, no matter which set you're going to be using, depending on how you want to play him, you're going to be still looking for those attack stats. But things could change here a little bit, and what I mean by that is you're going to start really trying to pick down what substats you want. So the substats are going to be the secondary stats, as you can see here. So this one has the attack and crit rate substat. For this, this is actually a really good. So if I want to, like, you know, run Kaya on this Exile, I would definitely want to use this because it's going to have that attack percentage and crit rate percentage for him as well. So next thing you're going to be wanting to try to do is trying to get one of these. You're going to try to get your cup to be a little bit different, right? So the thing about the cup is it holds stats that are a little bit different. This is where you can start to get a little more precise in your build. So we know he is a cryo user. So this cup right here has cryo damage bonus, which is very good. It has that crit rate and crit damage bonus. So we're going to be getting some nice stats here, along with having that energy recharge that we're going to be looking for. So again, what stats you want to build, how do you want it? Remember, your base is always your attack, and then after that, everything comes next. So your crit rate, obviously, you're going to want more crit rate than crit damage, because obviously, if you don't have any crit rate, then you're not going to be getting any crit damage. I believe all characters do 50% more of what the attack would normally do as crit damage on a regular basis. So if you just crit with no extra crit damage on there, you will do 50% more. That's just what crit damage like starts at. So just keep that in mind. Also for crit rate, it is hard capped at around 80%. So if you are going to be dealing, you know, looking for a lot of crit rate substats and trying to get that up, keep in mind you can't go over that amount. So even if you're using sets to get that up, like a Berserker set or something, you can't go over that. Okay, so what I went ahead and did is I went and built this Kaya so I can show you guys exactly what I mean. Now I made 3 things here to talk about. So right first here, I actually wanted to showcase this to you guys. So he's on an instructor set right now, but as you can see, I have one piece that's not an instructor set. So you may run into this that early or mid game where you're just going to get like 4 pieces, and then like the last piece really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a set because only 4-piece set bonuses, not a 5-piece. So that last piece could just be like, you know, a little icing on the cake. So I went ahead and gave him another attack percentage on energy recharge because he's very good at, you know, his ult is very good as far as dealing consistent ice damage. So you want to go ahead and get something like that for him. This is like however you want to play him, right? Now the instructor set itself, you don't have to run this. Again, it depends on how you're using him. This is going to give him element mastery, and element mastery is good for combinations, and let me show you what I mean by that. So if we go over here to his stats, as you can see here, the higher a character elemental mastery, the stronger the elemental energy that can be released. This will increase the damage by certain things, and Kaya is very good at doing the superconduct one, which is going to be cryo and electro. Now, if he's the one to actually initiate this, if you already have the electro on there, and then you hit with this, he's going to be getting that 48.8% more, you know, damage boost because he has 111 mastery through the artifact itself, the artifact set, and the actual set mastery here. Now, when you get the set bonuses, it's actually not put inside your artifact details. If you want to see all your details, you go to your attributes and then you click your details and you'll see it's inside here. Actually, on top of that, you can actually see when things are getting buffed in your menu once you have like the little lines on your character to see what's happening. So if you want to know exactly how much you're getting buffed by, you can actually do that for buffs like that. As far as like weapon skills and stuff, you can actually see how much is doing it. The increase is happening right here inside your menu if you check it while the lines are on your character. So keep that in mind as well. And last thing I want to talk about for the mid part of this guide is the elemental mastery timepiece that I have right here. You don't have to run this. Again, if I'm not running him on elemental mastery set, if he's not the one initiating the actual reaction, then you can run him on energy recharge, and therefore having another attack piece right here would be beneficial. So I can run him on an attack piece for the other set that I was talking about, the exile set, which would be better for him if you're trying to run him as far as his ults go. So if you're going to be initiating the reaction for him, which means you already have electro, and then you're going to be doing the cryo to get the extra damage for him, then this will be the set for him. And it's going to, you remember, the attack is going to give him the extra boost as far as just raw damage stats. The elemental mastery is going to help increase that damage as far as the element reaction go. And once you start getting into later sets, you can start playing around with these cryo bonuses that you could get from some of these sets right here, which I got them backwards for some reason. Yeah, the cryo damage bonus right here, as you can see, you can start playing around with your cups to start getting more damage within the cryo department. If you're going to be using them for that elemental mastery, then having some extra cryo damage bonus can help out with that. So you have some attack pieces in there. You're going to have your attack pieces. You're going to be looking for these substats within the elemental mastery, or you can have the elemental mastery set, or you can do the energy recharge, whatever one you're doing, whichever piece you get. And then you you get that cryo damage bonus as like that last extra icing on the cake there for your Kaya build or any type of build you're doing. We're just talking about Kaya in an example format so you can see how to start thinking about building a character. Now, once you get around the AR 30 to 35 range, this is where the unique sets start coming within the game. I really don't recommend you start farming these super heavily until you get to around the adventure rank 35, possibly 40 range. This is where just the RNG drop rates are going to be a little bit more beneficial in your favor, because these aren't really going to drop that much inside of the AR 30. 35, you start seeing them a little bit more frequently. At this time, you might as well go ahead and, like, you know, you're missing out on weapon essential materials, talent level materials. If you start trying to, like, farm these too much with your resin, with these low drops, you know, when you can start getting some of this stuff a little bit more guaranteed, which can help benefit your characters more greatly than wasting on RNG rolls here for trying to get some artifacts that may or may not come. Now, when you actually get these artifacts, when you're actually at that level, this is where things start to get a little bit more interesting for your builds, as I was saying. So we're going to be using Chi-Chi for example here, because I have a few of her set pieces, so I can actually just showcase that right here. So we're going to be dealing with the Maiden Beloved sets. Now, for people who don't know about Chi-Chi, she's a healer within the game. She actually heals scaling off her attack. So what you're going to be looking for here is, obviously, you're going to be looking for more of these pieces. Obviously, I don't have all of them right now, but I do have 4 pieces for the set, which is going to be Maiden's Beloved here. And I have the flower, and I have the feather. The feather is going to give me that attack. The flower is going to give me that flat HP. And yeah, so basically, like I said, she scales off attack. So what do you want to be looking for here is you're going to be looking, obviously, for once again, attack. Now, she's going to be a healer, so you're going to want to have her on something to get her ults a little bit faster. So the main stats you're probably going to be looking for here is, obviously, attack on this. Then you're going to get that nice attack percentage. You're probably going to be looking for some crit rate and crit damage as possible, because obviously if you can crit more and then do more crit damage, that means higher attack, which means more healing that she will do, and then probably like an energy recharge stat on there, so she get access to her ultimate faster. So looking for those stats on your gears as you start to get these gears. So this is going to be flat, and then, you know, as I get another piece, I would probably want like attack here again. And then, like, you could go cryo damage bonus for the cup if you get it. But remember, her main focus, you got to keep remembering, what is the main focus? How are you going to be playing this character? Her main focus is going to be dealing some type of damage, scaling off her attack. So for her mainly, I would just keep going with attack pieces so I can make sure that she's healing the most while still dealing some type of damage, because she's going to be scaling off that crit and crit rate to get more heal procs, which would I be looking for on top of the actual set when I get all 4 pieces, which will increase her healing effectiveness plus 15%, and then using her elemental skill or burst, increase the healing received by all party members by 20% for 10 seconds. Now, of course, because she is a healer as well, you can also start doing some unique things with the headpieces, which also have some unique attributes to it. So you can actually get a healing bonus percent for some of your headpiece as the main stat. So because she's a healer, this is also not a bad thing to run. It's just going to give you initial healing bonus percentage on top of just having those attack percentages on your other stats. So if I want to run that healing bonus right here, you can do that as well. So just keeping all of that in mind, that's how I would build her. Just keeping the character skills in mind, keeping how your character works in mind, along with how you want to play them, is very important when it comes to your builds, just like this. All right, and that's pretty much it. We talked about the first like 3 beginner sets you're going to have with the Traveling Doctor, the Lucky Dog, the Adventure. Then you start getting into some of these mid-game sets where a little bit more universal, the Berserker, Exile, Tiny Miracle. Just depending on how your character, how you want to play the character and what they excel at, you're going to be putting one of these sets on them while still trying to get that foundation of attack on them. Depending on how they are, obviously some characters scale all different things, so you're going to want to scale them on whatever they scale on. Like a Barber is obviously going to scale on HP, so having, you know, rather than doing what I'm talking about for attack, you just do what she scales off of, the HP, but it's the same method depending on like what they are. And then we talked about the final builds of the game when you start getting into these you know, the real sets of the game, and how you can start finalizing your builds with keeping in mind how the character may scale, if they scale off something, or if they don't, then how you want to play them, you know, to the set, and then always keeping that attack as the main basis in mind. And then if you're going to be using them for elements, then trying to put in probably like an element bonus, or yeah, like an element damage bonus cup or something like that. Keep that in mind for like that extra damage bonus you'll be getting, rather than just having all flat attack or just having a elemental mastery if they're not going to be the ones initiating the actual reactions itself. Anyway, Hope that was all good for you guys. I hope that was, you know, understandable. If you guys got any questions, let me know. I will definitely be down in the comments below, trying to help you all as much as I can. If I don't always get to your questions, always, you can follow me on the Twitch, and I'll be answering questions there. If you like anything I have to say, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want to hear more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Daikin, and I'll see y'all next time. Signing out.